Hello and welcome to Dongamet channel. Today we will be looking at knives. Complete knives and knives in the making. Well, maybe they're all knives in the making. So, made this knife maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago now. And this is the first knife that I presented on my channel when I started posting. Coming up on a year ago now. And I call this the Arcadia with the triphasic grind. 1, 2, 3. You might call it a triplex grind, but I call it triphasic. And because I made it, I get to name it. I think that's fair. There's the sheath I made. Little basic, little rinky-dink, but works very well. Pretty good retention, comfortable. Natural leather, so that's the patina that it's taken over some time and use. So having made this knife and I started testing it and I thought, it's great, you know, I'm going to revolutionize the whole industry, blah, 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 blah. So let me make another one, make it a little better, refine the concept. Okay, I'll get it out again so you can see the difference here. And I started working on this one, Mark II, in Damas steel. And then I keep taking on new projects, making new things for myself, aside from which, you know, outside of knives, I have a life, as my wife tenderly encourages me to recall, and to which I am obliged also to attend. And so I have these things kicking around, such as this. But it should be good when complete. Won't be quite as thick as the original. Oops. But it will be longer. So I don't know if I'm going to try and do so much of this here. But I kind of already started. And then I was like, oh, this looks like I need to know what I'm doing a bit better. Well, I got a file jig now, actually, so I I quite like how I was doing it, actually. It's kind of like this, you know, going for no right angles anywhere, no choil. And this knife is amazingly robust. I have given it plenty of hard use. Taper tang as well. Lilac handles, lilac pins. Right, that was a complete digression to get to this digression, which gets us to this digression, because there was an offcut from this billet, and with that offcut, I made something like this. I think it must have been, was it that way around or that way around? And I made a handle for it. And I made some lilac pins. I just whittled them. Since then, I now have a micro lathe thing, Dremel mini lathe thing, so I can actually make them a bit better. But, you know, this will work just fine. Very tough lilac wood. Okay, well, I mean, it will break. I'll make some more. Maybe I'll use brass pins. And so I had this, just like this. I had this blade kind of made and ground out, ready for heat treatment. And I can't do heat treatment myself, and at the local forge, they have some facilities, but I don't seem to get around to doing a lot of heat treating there either. So I had the offcut, and then Steve Callari showed up in my algorithm one day talking about how he's offering heat treatment. And so I finally got around to sending that to him, and he heat treated it in principle and sent it back, and it's in here. So let's have a quick look at this. Lil Chubz, as my wife likes to refer to this knife. A modified Boker Lil Friend. So that's how it is now. with the handle, somewhat ebonized, using a concoction of apple cider vinegar and steel wool to bring out this darkness and grain. And I stuck her in a jar of mineral oil for a couple of days. But yeah, I could do with a final polish. I also clipped the point and put some swedging in. And been grinding out the hollow somewhat in this side to get everything trued up. But it's not, you can still see it's kind of off. So that's a combination of the original blade, but also just me not putting the handle quite straight. I mean, I could grind it down and get it straight, but the handle would be very slim. And it's not, I mean, you know, this is always the deal I find with these knives, you know, like here's a really fine one. And it's the same thing. You can see the blade is not really that well aligned to the handle. But it should have been easier for me. Should it be easier when it's smaller? I guess so. Anyway, whatever. It's a knife. It cuts. Voila. And I also got me one of these. I want to pry something right now. Oh, I pry. Oh. Either I already broke it or I don't want to break it. Looking around. Well, I have to come up with something. We'll do some testing. That's beautiful. Just look at this, not through the camera. That's awesome. I love it. $40. Hardened in principle to around 60 Rockwell, I think. And here is the blade. Ooh-wee. Interesting colors. That's pretty. It looks a little odd at the moment because, and maybe it is just destined to look a little odd because of the dimensions. And this, you know, that being so high up there, and but maybe if I carve that out a bit more, I may just take the whole thing down. I mean, it's what happens, you know. You start out with something big and chunky, and then just keep grinding it down. And it's quite comfortable as it is. So maybe that's it, you know, and it's just going to be funny looking like that. Yeah, a little whittling knife or maybe a paring knife. Cool. I wonder if I can conserve this coloring. I guess it's going to be a very thin, superficial layer. And if I actually want to grind this final grind properly, then it's going to have to go. Do you see what I see? Let's do this on camera, just for fun. How far in are we to this? 9 minutes? Okay. Which anvil should we use? Maybe this is good. Maybe it's better to use something soft. If I don't want to snap this point off, but I want to tap it with the hammer. Shall we try? Well, it seems pretty hard. Oops. I do beg your pardon, dear viewer. Submitting you to that. Oh, where were we? Well, can't see as I'm making a lot of difference, but that might be helping a little. It's not the point of one or two knives doing this, but I think we're probably okay. We got a bit of stock here. Yeah, we still got that little lump at the edge, but I don't know if I want to hit that. I think I'm just going to grind that out. Maybe one more. This. Oh, that's pretty good. Still a little hollow here. Probably do some more. Yeah. Kind of tempted to start grinding right now. To be continued. Thanks for watching.